Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever, wherever you're watching this. I am the CHALL, and today, Chall Chats, the first of the Euro quarterfinal reviews. Spain 2, Germany 1. The hosts are out at the quarterfinal stage for the first time in the tournament's history. We'll be sharing all about this particular game before we head straight over to watch Portugal-France. And then we'll get ready to build up tomorrow's doubleheader between England-Switzerland and, of course, the Netherlands against Turkey. So before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Some exciting projects in the works this season. We do have some more DRFC daily reports. There's another one going out tomorrow before the England review, so stay tuned for that one. At least one, maybe two. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get straight into this video. We'll start off with your starting lineups. So starting off with Spain, Unai Simon in goal, a back four right to left of Dani Carvajal, Robin Lallemand, Aymeric Laporte and Marc Cucurella. Rodri in the defensive midfield role with Fabian Ruiz. Pedri's in the midfield as well. Lamine Yamal on the right, Nico Williams on the left, and up front on his own is Alvaro Morata. For Germany, we have Manuel Neuer in goal, a back four from right to left of Joshua Kimmich, Antonio Rudiger, Jonathan Tah and David Raum. In the midfield, Emre Can and what turned out to be his last game for country, Toni Kroos. Leroy Sané and Jamal Musiala on the wings, either side of Ilkay Gundogan, with Kai Havertz up front. So let's kick off with reviewing the performance of Germany. And look, they've got a strong squad. They've got a fantastic manager. It just weren't their day. From my point of view, it just wasn't their day. I felt like Germany were lacking in something. They did pretty well when full crew came on. I thought they had a bit more of a focal point. Again, Kai Havertz, you're not a striker. Just because you're a striker at Arsenal doesn't mean you're a striker for Germany. I don't think he is a proper striker. I think he's been horseshoed into a false nine, and because Arsenal almost, in quotation marks, almost won the league, I don't think that's enough of an excuse to start shoehorning him into a striker role for the national team. I don't. And, excuse me, for me personally, I just feel like Kai Havertz just isn't a focal point. I feel like Havertz, in his best position, works behind the striker. I don't think he works the striker, and it's happened again for Germany. The best that Germany came up with was when Füllkrug was on the pitch and Florian Wirtz was on the pitch. Where was Kai Havertz? Let's have a look. Let's have a look where Kai Havertz was at that point. Kai Havertz, Kai Havertz, Kai Havertz. Oh, he was off. He was off at the 90th minute. He was off, ready for extra time. So Kai Havertz didn't have a great performance today. I don't think they had a real focal point with Kai Havertz. I feel like the focal point was Füllkrug. I felt like Füllkrug had a better performance. Why? He was in the right areas at the right time, couple of dangerous headers just wide, and he was getting into great areas. The energy of Florian Wirtz behind him was absolutely phenomenal. And you could see the system at that point. You could see Germany's energy getting back into that game as we went into extra time. We could see Spain starting to frustrate and run out of ideas. But then they said, no, hang on a second. We'll get our energy back. We'll get our system back. And we'll put Germany on the back foot. Don't let them put us on the back foot. We'll do it to them because we are the away nation technically, and we will go at the hosts with full force and full throttle. And that's exactly what they did going into the rest of extra time. And Germany didn't have an answer after that goal from Mikel Merino, which, by the way, we'll talk about later. But Germany, for me, have got the players to do it well in the World Cup in a couple of years. I feel like there's an opportunity there, but I feel like this wasn't their game. For me, it wasn't Germany's game, and I think something went wrong. I feel like they shouldn't be starting Kai Havertz up front. I think that Füllkrug should be the starting forward. I think long term they'll have a striker waiting in the wings long term to step up and take on that focal point role. But I'm sick of seeing attacking midfielders like Kai Havertz horseshoed into a false nine or into a striker role. Why? Because they did well for a club that almost won the league. Not won the league, but almost did. For me, I feel like this horseshoeing needs to stop. And I feel like if Germany's going to win something, I think Kai Havertz needs to be playing behind the striker. But saying that, Florian Wirtz is getting ahead of him right now. And I just feel like they need to be starting Füllkrug or starting a focal point up front, an actual out-and-out striker to gain more success out of the squad they're working with. That's just my personal feeling. Nothing against Kai Havertz personally. I love the guy, respect the guy, but I don't think he's a striker. Now then, what about Viva España? Viva España! That was a punk rock version of Viva España because my voice is a joke. But Spain did very well in the end. They had some mishaps. We can't ignore that. I felt there were points in that second half going into the first half extra time where I felt like they were getting frustrated. They were losing their rhythm. They were losing their way. And I felt like something needed to be done. And I felt like they were looking for a route back into that match. Up steps Mikel Merino, ex-Newcastle United defensive midfielder. Brilliant cross in the box. Merino's on the head of it. And boom, 2-1. They have won the match. There's still a few minutes added on. There was a lot of yellow cards. It was like walking through the Smiler Old Towers. It was so yellow. It was unbelievable. There was about, 17, 18 cards overall from Anthony Taylor? It was a very yellow card central game. It was a very card central game. And Spain did well to overcome that. Carvajal was stupid against Musiala near the end. Why did he have to do that? I know he was taking one for the team, but his team were winning. I think Musiala's crossing on the night wasn't good enough, so I don't feel like he was going to be successful on that one. I felt like Germany's heads were elsewhere. Germany's heads were at the World Cup, so I don't think Musiala was going to make that cross. There was no need to fling an arm in Musiala's face like it was fight night at the Berlin. It was just not needed, and that was a needless second yellow, needless red card. Spain are going to have to put someone else in it right back for that game against either Portugal or France, because let's face it, that's who they're facing. It's the winner of Portugal v France. And then the winner of that game between Spain and the winner of the other game, which is coming up later tonight, will face the winner out of England, Switzerland, Netherlands, or Turkey. So, and that's your final, by the way. That's your final. So, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Spain going into that fullback position. But they've got options on the bench. They've got plenty of options to utilise. And there's a real opportunity there to bring someone in to cover that role. But overall, for me, I thought Spain recovered their energy very, very well. And for me, I feel like they recovered the situation where Germany were looking to get back into that game. They stepped back, looked at the situation and thought, hang on a second, we need to get back on top of this. And they did that. And they got the goal to show for it as well. Spain, for me, did well. And overall, I think they deserved to win it because at the end of the day, they hung on, they kept the chances coming, and they got the goal that needed to get them to go through. So what is next for both teams? Well, as we said with Germany, the World Cup is the next major competition. There's no doubt they'll qualify for that. I'd be shocked if they didn't. But they need to have that focal point up front. Again, I said this earlier in the video. No disrespect intended to Kai Havertz. He is not a striker. He's an attacking midfielder. He is a winger. He's a wide attacking midfielder. For me, he doesn't work as a striker. Yes, he played in that position at Arsenal, and yes, he got some goals for it. But overall, in terms of the overall performance, apart from goals and assists, does he offer anything else in that position? In my opinion, no. I think he's better behind the striker, but then when you look behind the striker, you've got Florian Wirtz putting in better performances. So right now, you would start Wirtz ahead of Havertz, and you put Füllkrug up front. That's how they would start. There is a couple of years now till the World Cup starts, so we'll look at some future German strikers, out-and-out strikers, by the way, just to see who could come into that position long-term and fill that role to really take Germany forward in the attack. But for me, they need to stop playing Havertz up front because there's just no end product coming out of it. You saw the Germany goal. You saw the Germany goal. It was a closely worked build-up goal. Someone was in the centre. Everyone was onside just. And it clipped off the post. And who was it? I believe it was Florian Wirtz that scored that goal. So again, like I said, for me, yeah, it was Florian Wirtz. So for me, I feel like Germany just need that proper focal point up front. As for Spain, look, for Spain, obviously they've got a semi-final to look forward to. They're in the last four. Let's see what happens with that one. It's going to be interesting to see who they come up against, Portugal or France, which starts in a few minutes. So I should be wrapping this up soon. But for me, like I said, I feel like Spain will be focusing on that Portugal or France game in the semi-finals, and we will see what happens. It don't matter if it's Portugal or France. It's another big clash between two big nations, and we will see what happens there. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the final review coming tonight. Stay tuned for DRC Daily Reports and 2 quarterfinals coming up tomorrow. We're building up to the semi-finals. We've got some more DRC content to come as well. Pre-season starts in a couple of weeks. We are at Stamford away. We are at Club Thorn away. We are at Hull City at home. We are at Middlesbrough at home. I don't think I can make the Rotherham United game on the 3rd of August, which I am heartbroken about. But we'll be there for the start of the season as we host Accrington Stanley. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. Mean that badge to you, and that is full time.